Hello everyone, and welcome to Veil of Shadows. I know many of you use these videos to relax and drift off to sleep, so before you let your mind wander into the world of dreams, I'd love if you could take a moment to leave a comment, letting me know where you're listening from. It's always fascinating to hear from listeners all around the world, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to bring you more spine.
The Whispering Bridge. In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills, there stood an ancient bridge. The locals called it the Whispering Bridge because, on moonlit nights, soft whispers could be heard emanating from beneath it. Some believed it was the wind playing tricks, while others thought it was the spirits of the past, trapped and calling for help. Despite the eerie tales, no one dared cross the bridge after sunset for fear of the unknown. One evening, a young man named Faisal, known for his fearless nature and skepticism, decided to test the legend. Spirits, whispers. It's just a bridge, he laughed to his friends, who tried to warn him, but Faisal was determined to prove them wrong. As the sun dipped behind the hills, he walked toward the bridge, a lantern in his hand. The air grew colder as he approached, and a strange unease settled over him. The bridge, old and weathered, stood in silence, its stone arches casting long shadows in the fading light. Faisal stepped onto the bridge, and as soon as his foot touched the first stone, he heard it. A soft, barely audible whisper. He froze, but the sound faded away. He continued walking, convinced it was just his imagination. But as he reached the middle of the bridge, the whispering grew louder, more distinct. Turn back. Turn back. The voices seemed to say, coming from beneath the bridge like the voices of many people, speaking in unison. Faisal's heart raced, but he pressed on. It's nothing, he muttered, his voice trembling. Just as he reached the other side, the whispering stopped abruptly. Relieved, Faisal laughed nervously and began to walk away. Suddenly, he felt a cold hand on his shoulder. Spinning around, he saw no one, but the air was thick with a sense of foreboding. The ground beneath his feet seemed to shift, and the once clear path home now appeared twisted and unfamiliar. He tried to retrace his steps, but the landscape had changed. The bridge loomed behind him, now darker, its arches bending in unnatural angles. A voice, clearer than before, whispered again. But this time, it was not a warning. It was a command. Stay. Terrified, Faisal stumbled backward, but no matter how fast he ran, the village seemed to move farther away. The whispers followed him, growing louder, urging him to stop, to stay with them. It wasn't long before Faisal understood. The spirits weren't just warning him. They were trying to keep him. They needed him.
Chilling stories.
With a final desperate scream, Faisal broke free from the invisible grip and ran, only to find himself back at the foot of the bridge, breathless and shaken. The whispers had stopped. The bridge, once an ominous presence, now appeared calm, as if nothing had happened. The next morning, Faisal packed his things and left the village, never to return. He never spoke of what happened that night, but he knew one thing for sure. Some places, some forces, are beyond human understanding, and to tamper with them invites consequences far greater than one can bear.